Hi guys, this is Cassie with Princess JoJo's Hair Bows, and today we're going to be making a beaded bun wrap. First you need to have all your supplies ready to go. That would be the beads that you're going to work with. Today I'm working with this silvery sort of gunmetal looking beads. You need the things to finish your ends, your flowers or whatever it is you're going to use to finish off the ends. Felt circles, needle nose pliers, scissors, your glue gun, and these little, see if I can focus in on this. These are little crimp enclosure. They finish the end of the cord off with. Those of you guys that do beads, and I know tons of you do the bubblegum necklaces, I'm sure that you're familiar. I do the bun wraps two different ways. I do them on stretchy cord, like I've done this one. And I usually secure these with a bobby pin in my daughter's hair, or I'm sure that you could put an alligator clip on the back of this and secure it that way. My daughter usually has really big buns. I wrap a braid around it, so it's usually hers are pretty big, and the other girls at our dance studio usually have pretty wide buns, so I do these pretty large. I would say about 10.5 inches finished. And then we have these bun wraps, which are strung on the wire, which I like better. It's easier to bead with. This is not stretchy, but as you see, it is really, really tough. And this has alligator clips on each end. Okay, now what I use is this wire that I found at Hobby Lobby. And then when I do the stretchy ones, when I do the stretchy ones, I use this clear stretch cord. It's really tough and it bounces back really well, so it doesn't stretch out and leave you with spaces in between your beads. What I use as a template for size are these bun builders, is what they call them at our studio. I have a large one and a small one. And I always add about 1 inch or so for hair, braids or twists or whatever, because there's always excess hair and you have to put it away somehow, so it's usually wrapped around. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I've already cut a piece of wire. I've constantly got ribbon on the brain. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these little doodads, these little crimper things. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. I think the light may be a little harsh. I'm going to thread the two ends. I'm going to fold this in half. Hopefully you can tell what I'm doing. I'm going to fold this in half, and then I'm going to put the open ends through the loop in this little crimper thing. And then I'm going to thread it, or I'm going to pull it all the way through, if I can get a hold of it. Sorry about the fan, guys. This light that I've got on me is just burning me up, so I have to have the fan on. Now, I like to make sure that the two ends aren't bunched up. There's like a little divider type thing in the bottom of that, and I'm not sure you can see it. It's really tiny. But I'm going to hold this tight. You want the loop at the end. You want something for the glue to grab onto. And I showed you how tough the one beaded bun wrap was, and by jerking on it, and it did not come apart. And I haven't been using E6000. I've used hot glue, and haven't had a problem because my daughter's been pretty tough on them, and we haven't had one fall apart yet. If you would prefer to use E6000, more power to you. I try not to use it too much because I can't stand the smell. Okay, so what we're gonna do, let's see if I can focus on what we're doing. Okay, it's not going to focus very well. What you're going to do is, there's two flaps on this little crimp thing, and you're going to fold one over, and then you're going to pinch it shut, or pinch it flat with your pliers, or if you have crimpers, that's awesome. I have not invested in a pair yet. I imagine with the way these are selling, I'm probably going to. But I pinched this first one really, really good, because the goal is to make sure that the wire is not going to move in and out of it. And then you fold the other one over. I may not have pinched that well enough. I can hear my children yelling at my dog outside. And then you just use the needle nose to crimp it flat. And you know, you can use crimping tubes. I like this with the loop on it, and there's just more for the glue to grab onto. And it just keeps it a little more stable. And so that's what let's see. Maybe. My camera's not wanting to cooperate today. Let's use this. Use a good contrast on that. And that's what it should look like with the loop on it. When you're done, and then we'll do something at the other end that's similar. Obviously, we can't have a unfinished loop on the other end. Now I know that this is about 10.5 inches around, because I've made quite a few of these. I want my beads to be about 9.5 inches, 9.5 inches finished before I crimp off the other end of it, because I'm going to have two ends. I'm using this one on the other end because I don't really want to use another big flower because it might be too much, but I don't like just a raw felt circle on the other end, so I'm going to put this little rolled rose that I made on the other end. So I make these, I make about 9 to 9.5 inches of beads. Just to make sure that it's not going to be too big or too small. So that it'll fit around nicely and not be too tight or too loose and flop around. This one I'm going to use these small beads. And I'm going to do 7 beads on each side. And then we'll work with the sparkly ones. Okay, now I've got 7 beads strung on each side. The camera is not one to cooperate tonight. I am going to put a big bead I'm going to use one of these little black crystal looking I'm going to string one of these big mirror ball. And put another black one. And then I'm going to push the other end through, going the other way. A little crystal is trying to run away from me over here. Okay, now you've got both ends strung going opposite directions through the big bead. And you just pull them tight, and then you have okay, now what you do is I'll string 7 more beads on each side and then do this again. I doubt you want to watch a whole video of me stringing a whole bun wrap. That would be dreadfully boring. So, we'll finish stringing this, and then I'll be back when it's time to finish it off. Alright guys, we've just finished beading the wrap itself. You've got a loop at one end, and I didn't really, normally I tie it off into a loop. I did not have enough left over this time to do that, so that's gonna have to do. I've got my glue gun fired up. I'm gonna get this other stuff out of the way. going to start off with the bigger end here. And these are typically too large for this. So I'm going to cut it down a little bit. It's pretty good. And I was sort of caught off guard. Today I thought I had some black 1-inch felt circles. I don't. So I'm gonna quickly cut one out to use for the other end here. It's messy. That's not typically how I roll, but luckily with black on black it doesn't show up too terribly bad. The trick with this is it needs to be sandwiched in between felt and a liberal amount of glue. And I like to get the entire clasp in there. Let's see if I can. I like to get the entire clasp. Here's the edge of the felt, and I know it's hard to see, but I like to get this entire area in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lot of glue. Now I try not to let it bleed out because I hate the way it looks, and of course it doesn't look very professional. But with this, and you guys saw how I yanked on the one bun wrap that I showed you earlier, and it didn't budge. And the sticky or the stretchy ones, they have not, none of those have come undone. I have tested the crap out of them, literally. I mean, my daughter dances and constantly wears things in her hair, like I'm sure most of you guys have little princesses that do activities. Now, with all that glue, I'm going to make sure that this has plenty of glue on it. And then I'm going to sandwich it in between there and hopefully not squeeze out a ton of glue, which I'm not really good at gauging how much is going to come out. So I really just sort of try to clean it up as best I can. And unless you have asbestos fingers, I don't suggest you do what I just did with hot glue. I've been working with it for so long, I usually have like blisters and calluses on my hands and fingers. This is really forgiving, I think, because it's black. If I was working with, I don't know, like an aqua color, the glue would probably not, I mean, it would probably not as forgiving. I just want you to make sure that it's good and sandwiched in there. And do not try pulling on this until, I mean, it's got to be cold. That glue needs to be dry. And we'll just do the other end. Again, now because this flower is so large, I'm not going to do anything really big for the other end. And like I said, I don't like raw felt circles, especially not when they look like this. So I'm just going to use this tiny little rolled rose that I did. Just so I have somewhere to attach a alligator clip, and so that this is good and sturdy. Again, a liberal amount of glue. I'm going to try not to, especially on this side, not have it spill over. And of course, if you have gaps or whatever after it dries, you can always fill those in. The main thing is to make sure that there is plenty of glue holding the wrap itself, or the beading in. And you know, like I say, I have not had any problems with this coming loose, but I imagine if I didn't pay so much attention to the glue, the way that having stuff for the glue to grab onto is really the big thing. Because the more, I guess, grabby, I don't know what you want to say for that, the more grabby it is, the better off you are in the long run, and it's gonna stay. Okay, so there we go. Let's see if I can, oh, I've got a string. I usually wait for it to dry and then clean up the strings and all of that stuff. Get this stuff out of the way. And there we go. Now, I did not bring any alligator clips up with me, of course, because I'm never completely prepared. But just like other bun wrap tutorials, this one again has too much glue on it. I have put the clips facing in on each end. So there's an opening facing the other way. It makes it easy to put it on. And I secure these with felt circles. I put a felt circle into the clip and then glue it on that way. It seems to make it a little more secure. And again, this was done with hot glue, and I mean it's staying. So again, if you want to use E6000, the drying time is just a little bit longer. I've used E6000 on a couple of them. On the stretchy ones, it did eat the rubber. It ate the rubber on the one I tried. I tried using E6000 on this one first, and it degraded the rubber in the band. So just beware of that. Alright guys, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I appreciate you watching, and the next tutorial I'm going to be doing is how to attach fiber optic lights to a boutique style bow. Thanks guys. Bye.